I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm always ready.
yeah.
I love talking about me.
Alright. So, first off, how happy are you guys to be part of Epicenter this year?
Incredibly happy. When we got the call and said that we were invited to do it, I was ecstatic. Obviously, Kiss being involved, Kiss is definitely one of our main influences, and I was very excited to, since I was a little kid, obviously.
Did you get to see them last night?
Yeah, I did, and it was fantastic, like always. But the way I felt was in watching them that, like anybody that loves something, as a child, you feel like you can improve upon it. And for us, Kiss is great, but Kiss is old and they can't really move, and they can blow stuff up. But for your money, I think that when you come see Black Veil Brides, you see a better show. So what we wanted to do was have the opportunity to, within the same festival, show what the new generation of that world is, and eventually we'll blow stuff up.
That's good. Everybody likes the pyrotechnics. So your debut came out in July.
Yes.
So, how's the feedback been with that so far?
Fantastic. Debuted in the Billboard Top 40 in the first week, number 36. Still selling fantastic. The thing about our fans that's different from a lot of other bands is that we have a very community type of vibe. The number one reason that kids feel attracted to us or want to listen to us is because most of them are outcast. Whether it be in school or life, or they have something about them that's different, and we're sort of, we like to throw it out there and be sort of a beacon for people that feel different, because all of us in the band, that's what we were. We grew up the outcasts. We all grew up in the Midwest, and all of us wanted to be able to have one day the opportunity to make a band that sort of represented that. And so our fans they're fantastic. They buy the merchandise, they wear the makeup to the shows, they buy the record, and
yeah, we noticed that tonight.
Yeah, well, it's all part of it. There's not really a lot of bands that do that, so we're the luckiest people in the world to have the fans that we do.
So what is it like for you as an artist when the fans do come up to you and say, your music has changed my life or has helped me through this difficult time period?
Well, obviously it's hugely gratifying. There's probably nothing better for someone that writes music or makes music than to have an impact on someone else's life. Ultimately, that's why I ever started a band or did something, was because I felt like a kid that was alone and needed something. And for me to be able to have the opportunity, and here I am 19 years old and have the opportunity to change people's lives or make, help empower them, there's really absolutely nothing better, because, at the end of the day, it's all about believing in yourself.
So what are your plans for after Epicenter?
We have a headlining tour starting on Friday. We're doing all the U.S. and Canada, doing about 60 days, and then going to Europe at the start of the year. We're going to be filming a new music video, and just basically one day at a time taking over the world.
That's good. So
you can laugh, but I promise you, Black Veil Brides will be the biggest band in the world.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Hey, to say that at 19, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, I have, I'm very clear with what I want,
yeah.
And I've only ever had one vision, and it's because of people like our fans, which they call themselves an army, and it's very much like that. They wear the war paint, they have a very strong feeling about the band. It's because of them that I'm allowed to say these things. I can feel confident knowing that this band will continue to grow because of the fans that we have.
Yeah.
It's not being cocky. It's I feel like it's the job of anyone that's in a band to want to reach for the brass ring and to want to do as much as they possibly can, because if it wasn't for bands like Kiss or Motley Crue having the success that they had, I would have never, as a kid growing up in Kentucky, wanted to do everything that I did. So I feel like it's our job as people that are musicians or artists or whatever else to show that we're ready to take over the world or do whatever we possibly can, because that helps inspire people.
So what is one of the most important lessons that you've learned so far?
Lessons, I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, you can't really ever, there's so much that you learn in life. Obviously you learn, personal relationships, you learn from breakups, life, anything else, but it's not necessarily, I think it's more building than learning, because to learn from something means that you've taken something and you've changed your emotion on it. And you previously didn't know how to answer the math problem, now you know the math problem. But when it comes to life, and especially music, there's really no way to learn to be better. It's you build upon it. You get new skills, and you don't necessarily forget your old ones. And it's the same way in life. Relationships, heartbreak, loss, it's all the same. You continue to build throughout your life.
So musically, influences for you, like who are some major influences?
I sort of draw from different areas. I grew up, my dad was really into punk rock music, and I loved bands like The Damned and the Lords of the New Church, and obviously bands like the New York Dolls, but huge, visual influences on me are, Kiss, Motley Crue, Wasp, I mean LA Guns, those kind of bands. And I also love that, I love the idea of the 80s rock, you know, sort of, you know, it being about enjoying your life. And obviously to a different degree, we sing more about, you know, the personal life that someone has, but we love the idea of rock and roll being at the end of the day about not caring what anyone else thinks. And that's it, that is what it is. Rock and roll initially was a rebellious movement. It was a way of expressing your anger or aggression or angst through music, and over time that's become watered down, and the vast majority of bands are homogenized, you know, pardon me for saying it, but crap. I mean, it's most bands that you go see, it's the same thing over and over again. And I feel like, you know, I'm so proud to be at this Epicenter, but I feel like if you walk around most of the day, you will hear the same band. And that's why I was happy that we were able to play, because I feel like we were maybe able to change things a little bit for a minute. For those 30 minutes that we played on stage, people got to see a real rock show.
Yeah, definitely, I can agree with you, and I definitely agree with you with everything sounding very cookie cutter on any type of top 40 radio.
I mean, it's not even top 40. It's anything. It's indie label rock. It's heavy metal. It's whatever you want to call rock and roll anymore. It's everybody wanting to sound like whatever was popular a year ago, and nobody really has any passion for what they do. It's a social climb. It's wanting to meet the right people to get in the right places. It's not because you want to be, not because you strive to be something more. The reason that I want Black Veil Brides to be the biggest band in the world is because I know that in my heart that's all I've ever wanted, and that's what I strive for, because it's my passion. In the same way that, you know, someone who's an artist wants to be, you know, a very, you know, to obviously improve their talents, but to be an acclaimed painter, or, you know, someone who works at a desk job wants to be respected by their boss and, you know, get the raise and everything else. I feel like there's so many people that make music just so they can maybe get to like a medium-sized stage at Warped Tour and then they're done. That's the ceiling. But to me, there is no ceiling. I want to be, you know, if they could make a stage in the sky that I could play my music over everything, that would be ultimate, I think. If I could somehow play in the clouds and everyone could hear it, that's because, you know, there's no way to put a cap on your ambition.
There's another band that told me, I forget who it was now, they wanted to be the first band to play in space. Let's just get them there.
Well, we'll fight for it then.
So
give me their names.
How has social media been a tool for you guys?
It's huge. I mean, yeah, I would be a fool to say it hasn't been. I think the importance of it is, you know, it's so crazy to think that someone like myself, who is 15 years old, could write a song, record it in a basement in Kentucky, and it would be in the living room of someone in Australia the next day. I mean, the idea of social networking and MySpace and these things very early on seemed to me like an easy, well, not easy, but a very effective means with which I could get my music and my message out to a lot of people. And because of that, because of MySpace and, you know, Facebook and Twitter and these other things, we can, you know, I can sit in this room and send out news to anyone in the world about my band, and people, you know, because of stuff like Epicenter having the Ustream chat, kids all around the world were watching us play today and tweeting about it and everything else, and that's amazing.